Welcome back to the finals of U.S. Nationals here at SteamCon US. We're here with Jamie Giblin again. Oh, God damn it.
And
Welcome to the finals of SteamCon US, the finals of the U.S. National Championship here at SteamCon US. I'm here with Jamie Giblin again, Pat Van Velze from Strictly the Worst, and our podcast mate Alex Botts is playing here in the finals with Shane Wattie.
yeah, so we got American versus Canadian. Chance for the non-national to win the national championships.
To
Is this
continue
the
the
trend
streak.
for this year? And it's going to be an interesting one. Both. Oh, if you
On the top.
push the button on top, that turns it off. So we got a few more rounds to the round, a few more minutes to the round start. That was Botts arriving to ask how to turn his microphone off as he runs to the toilet. It looks like they have swapped sides.
Yep.
Which is sad for you because you
Sad for me, because I got to fix that. But
sort that out.
other than that, they've chosen the same captain and mascot, both Tater Peck.
Thresher Peck. It could be Tater. I mean,
after the last game,
Tater should be promoted.
I'm not the only one on our podcast who can't tell the difference.
Scathing.
No, Vince was complaining about that. But yeah, so they will likely play very similar teams. They played in the first round of the LCQ yesterday.
Yep.
So they've played before.
Shane beat him.
Pretty
So
comfortably.
We're going to see
the
the sort of like Pokemon redemption story.
Exactly.
Alex Botts beaten by Shane.
He's got his
the
shot.
only person to beat him. Meet him again in the final.
Yeah.
Will he turn his cap backwards and beat him?
Yeah, we were talking about it, and so the LCQ was the first time he got to play that matchup.
Yep.
And
I think Grange.
yeah,
Grange Fallow is the.
there's definitely something there, I think.
I think you go Grange, Fallow, Tater, and you when Thresher comes in, does the first bit of damage to somebody.
Just jump in there, make him hit.
Fallow goes and engages, and you just shut down Thresher's.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing that would be really interesting if you took like two good Farmers players and made them play 5 or 6 games against each other.
Yeah.
Like how the captain choice would evolve over that time.
What I thought we might see if one of the players did play Grange, and I was speaking to Fraser before, so I'm saying I thought of this. This is all Fraser that I'm just regurgitating. Is that he expected if one person put Grange, the Thresher captain would go Bushel and go super goal heavy because he loses his ability to just delete players.
Okay, interesting. That's you get into a pretty low influence team at that point.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're getting the goals, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting.
That's the time that then Plowman comes out to shore up that influence deficit and doubling up all the crop markers that are planted.
One interesting thing the players just said that we don't totally normally see is that they have different union picks. So Alex has Grace for his union slot, and Shane has Benediction.
Interesting.
I don't know that we'll necessarily see either of those picks in this game.
I don't know. Do we know who's kicking?
I believe Alex is because Shane drafted first.
Oh, okay. Grace goes down.
Going
So
with
this is
Grace.
what I was expecting. Grace to go in simply because the quick foot allows Botts' Thresher to engage first.
Yeah. We talked about it a little, and I know he was debating if he was going to go through with it. But yeah, he definitely has some ideas about how to play Grace in this matchup.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, as you said, the quick foot is...
the effectively free quick foot allows you to engage on your terms. You lose who's he not taking instead normally here?
Normally, I believe it would be Harrow would be the one. Oh, no,
Jack
Harrow.
Straw.
It would be Jack Straw. Yeah. It depends on the matchup. He swaps out one of those two.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you give up some influence in the sense that normally you'd allocate 2 to Jackstraw for him to crop dust every turn, and you can cycle those back into influence if you need to. Instead, you get a free quick foot.
I just think it's much tougher for this team to now put down the harvest tokens where they're needed. Because you can't project them with this team. It's going to be with Harrow it's at the start, and then you get it with Millstone. Millstone tends to be hanging out behind them. So
yeah, I think it's a tough balance.
Yeah, like Fear the Reaper is going to be a rarity, I think, for Botts in this one. It's going to be hard to put it down and spend it.
Especially as the kicking player. So, part of the appeal of Grace is that you have the 13-inch threat with Thresher as the kicking player, but at the same time, as the kicking player, you need the sort of harvest marker projection that Jack Straw brings. or you sort of depend on it if you want to don't fear aggressively, right?
Yeah.
And it can be hard to do defensive sort of don't fears because you hit your own team.
Yeah.
Or you have to position well to avoid it.
And Shane's lineup there, going for the 6 that we've seen, but replacing the donkey with Peck. Harrow, Jackstraw, Tater, Millstone, Thresher, Peck.
This kick could have the potential to go pretty badly for Shane, I think. That.
Yeah. Forces Jackstraw to go and catch it rather than planting.
Although he's not under a ton of pressure to grab it because nobody from Boston's
no one
team
else can go over and grab it. So yeah, I guess.
Huh. This will be interesting. So which? Is the Tater the 4th model from the top? I believe.
1, 2, 3.
The one right next to Tater, Thresher?
It's the one right next to Thresher.
Yeah, okay.
The Threshers are both zombie Threshers.
Yep.
Both are... You've got custom Tater, or limited Tater on the right-hand side, and fork Tater on the other side.
Shane's, Huh. Let's see.
Peck, both sides, is the correct pick, in my opinion. Just condition ignoring is huge for ignoring the knockdown of the Thresher and the Tater.
Yeah, and you, especially with Millstone, you have a lot of flexibility in where you put it, because you can put it on Millstone. You don't have to be able to get it all the way to
Get
Thresher.
it on that person, because Millstone takes that condition, ignores it.
Exactly.
The Millstone takes it again.
Yeah, it can make for some unbelievably difficult counterattacks.
Yeah. So both these guys playing for the US National Championship and World Spot.
Yep.
They have the trophy right next to them on the table, the Black Heart USA trophy, so they can see what they win. They're both asking, where's the Thresher trophy? But that's for the Master Artisan Award only.
Okay. I think that Blackheart trophy is very cool. There's
I love them.
People around in the U.S. have gotten to see a lot of those Vet Rage trophies from the regional qualifiers, but the Blackheart one is a thing to see in person.
I love those trophies, and I think they are available to buy. The company's name has completely gone up my head. The guy's name is Ramon, and I've forgotten what his company's called, but you can purchase them. They were on sale at SteamCon UK, and expect to see them on the store eventually.
Interesting, cool. I ended up with a couple of the spigots from LVO.
Oh yeah.
And it was if I knew somebody who wanted to paint something of that scale, I kind of wanted to get one of those painted.
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd be pretty cool. But.
Well, the Ramon at SteamCon UK was showing off a fully painted, pro painted Veteran Rage, and the limited edition Rage, and it looked amazing, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the detail for a trophy of that size is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Guys in chat say that also something to mention is that the winner of this game does get a free trip to Chicago, which is absolutely huge.
No, it's a long way.
Yeah. All expenses paid, bus ticket.
Exactly.
Hopefully both are staying at the hotel, so we don't have to pay any.
All expenses paid for me to drive Alex back to the venue like I did this morning.
Yeah. Do you reckon you can claim for that?
Yeah. So I think when Alex and I have talked about playing Grace in the Farmer's Mirror in the past, I think his biggest complaint was essentially, Jackstraw placing Harvest Marker allows you to spend influence to create Harvest Markers that you can turn into influence later.
Yes.
So for Thresher Legendary turn, the thing you're most limited by is the number of influence you can allocate, right? So being able to take influence in a less important turn and turn it into influence in a important turn is the big thing you lose by playing Grace. And so I think in a lot of ways this game will be them sort of jockeying for position of Alex trying to exploit his threat range advantage.
Yes.
And create a situation where he can quickfoot his Thresher and force Shane to have his Thresher in a situation where he's now threatened after the quickfoot.
Yes.
But has two things he needs to activate, essentially.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because in turn one, I think you just see Alex drop 2 Harvest Markers so that he can turn into influence when he wants. Mm-hmm. And you ignore that they even exist.
Sure.
And they're just in the bank, ready to go.
Right. Yeah, I think the activation order will be interesting. for sure.
Both players just getting ready for the thumbs up from Bryce that the round is live and ready to begin, I believe.
Yep, there's still a bunch of other games going on.
Just getting ready, getting set up. People still playing to see who gets third and second and whatnot, because losing this game at top table doesn't guarantee you second place or anything else really other than pride. As strength of schedule will play a huge part in it.
Yeah, there's some other really interesting games going on.
Yeah, so we got Steve Easton versus Jordan Nack on table 2.
Mike Klein and Vince Curkov on table 3, and Chris Schlegel and I believe Mikkel on table 4.
Check on the long checks. Yeah, Klein versus Curkov, Mikkel versus Schlegel on 4, and then everyone else has dropped out.
Yep.
Which makes sense. They can go play in the rookie leagues and casual play and earn some swag whilst they can.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun talking about the different possibilities for those rookie cards when they all came out of SteamCon UK.
Yeah.
And just sort of like getting to see the players that were sort of above the level of a regular player at the top end.
It's really interesting seeing because they're not balanced around competitive play at all, but the development team just got to have fun making them. And so you start off with these absolutely terrible players who are a hindrance to your team. And every game you play, they get a little bit better until they are better than a captain by the end of it.
Yeah, it was really cool to see like the slightly more extreme versions of like regular abilities. Like I think one of the versions of Ferrite has the all of her counterattacks are free.
Yes, yeah.
You're just like, oh well, okay. If I'm a 1-inch melee model,
I think I really like Mash with his. If you look at his heroics, hit it for 6, just gets more and more aggressive each time, and more exclamation points are added, more words are put in capitals. Hit it for 6, hit it for 6, hit it for 6, and it just gets further and more damage each time. I love it. We saw at SteamCon UK his rookie model.
Okay. Yeah.
Where he's ripped before he gets married.
Yeah, looks like an excited guy. So these are not Bots' models.
No, he's borrowed some of them from Stephen Easton. Basically, because they're both playing farmers.
They wanted difference.
They wanted difference. Okay. One for their own sakes, so that they could tell their own models apart, and secondly, so that we could see it on the stream and guys at home could as well.
Definitely helpful.
Steve Easton is letting him borrow his models. That's what all the ones in white are, and Steve has started, or his painter started to paint those other 2 models.
Yeah, I'm very used to, Bots has a set of custom harvest markers that are very, still gray because he hasn't painted them, but I'm very used to looking at that as harvest markers.
To help tell the difference as well, we have the Dark harvest markers down there.
Perfect.
Yeah, interesting going into tomorrow as we've got all the World Championship qualifiers. They're all playing against each other already, trying to just test each other out a little bit.
Some practice.
Get some practice on clock.
Get to see some different styles of play.
Yeah. I can't wait to do streaming tomorrow. It'll be the best of the best at this moment in time.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. And looks like one way or another we'll have a farmer added to the mix. Assuming they stick with their current choice.
Well, I think
it sounds like they're both pretty dedicated.
Both of them. So Shane Wattie, we saw yesterday win the last chance qualifier. If he gets this, he wins the US National Championship, and then it'll be sort of like the complete underdog story to see him go on and win Worlds, winning all 3, just completely dominating SteamCon US if it happened.
Have to win 13 rounds for that.
Yeah. And I think if that were to happen, then it's just undeniable that.
Yeah, Alex had a bunch of really positive things to say after his game with him yesterday.
Yeah. But what I find is even when I have to Giblin myself, especially against very good players in the UK, and I get beaten, I actually don't mind if I get beaten by a good player or someone I perceive to be a good player, because I learn a lot about the game and I can reflect upon it. Yeah. Whereas I think as a player myself, I always hate to blame the dice on something, unless it is just a straight roll off and it's like whoever wins this initiative roll wins, and maybe something different I could have done previously would have affected that, but until it gets to sort of that, just I think we've matched each other 1 for 1 and it's just a straight dice roll off, whoever gets it wins. Other than that, I think there's always a learning point you can take from a game to improve yourself ready for the next one.
Yeah, there's pretty much always something you can take away from a game. You know, and then also the sort of the step of being able to sort of look at a decision without respect for how the dice came out, like in the game of Jared against Chris, where like he went for what was probably his best choice in that circumstances, and he just happened to miss the 2 die shutout. And like you shouldn't take away from that. The shutout was the wrong choice.
Shutout was always the wrong choice. Now it didn't work for me that one time, so it's the wrong thing to do.
Exactly.
You're like, no, I did the right thing. The dice weren't there for me, but
maybe next time.
Yeah.
Or 90% of the time. It looks like we're off.
Looks like we're off. And I was going to say, to bring it all back to this game, I wonder if Alex will learn from his loss against Shane.
Hope so.
And get himself through.
Yeah. So the players just discussing their relative levels of influence here. Shane realizing that he has more influence to sort of allocate freely, but Alex is like an 11 influence team with a free quick win every turn. Or a free healing aura also, which is sort of something people forget about Grace occasionally.
Oh yeah, the healing light has been the other half of Smelling Salts, what it used to be.
Exactly. Which, like, if there's a a big scrub going on, it can be
Everyone gets 2 from that, 2 from Harrow, and you're like, well, I just saved myself, 3 momentum, or maybe even more.
Starting with Jackstraw, off to go grab the ball.
Yep.
Kick it over to Harrow, looks like.
Big pass back to Harrow. Yeah, guys in the Twitch chat saying no one took Grace. Well, Campbell Dandy's just arrived. Didn't take Grace as he doesn't have it in the list.
Gotcha.
And Alex pulled it out of the last pick.
Yeah.
I believe, anyway.
Yeah, I think most of the draft process is pretty straightforward for this matchup, at least for now. Let's see.
Must be in both their heads that if they win this, they're through to the World Championship, which is just huge.
I imagine. So Alex's first activation is to go with Harrow, just drop a Harvest Marker there to turn on Poised for Thresher as well as Countercharge for Tater.
Harrow there just planting, dropping the ball. Very nice channeling through Harrow there to give quick foot from Impart Faith. And then Jogs just up the pitch. The Impart Faith is really good for keeping Grace safe and still pushing forwards the ability.
Yeah, her defensive stats are not outstanding, so it is definitely important to keep her out of Thresher's way.
Yeah.
15 boxes 4-0.
So 15 boxes is still pretty respectable. I mean, it's not enough to stop Thresher going in and taking one turn on you, but like being a 4-0 without the on point, 15 is a good number.
It's she's deceptively hard to kill sometimes relative to her model.
Yeah.
How other people describe her sometimes. Huh.
4-0 is not really a stat in Guild Ball. It's not a common one, and so you often underestimate just how hard 4-0 actually is to kill because you think, oh, there's no armor, I can do that. But
it's one of those things that depends fairly heavily on the guild, right? There are some guilds that are, have very high amounts of like explosive damage, like brewers and stuff. Whereas there are others that do small amounts very consistently.
Yeah, butchers.
Yeah, exactly. Butchers, Vet Rage, things like that. Yeah. So Shane activating Millstone.
There's always one.
There are ways to use tape measures correctly.
No.
There are. I will be the tape measure apologist.
And I will criticize bots every time.
I think you guys gave me crap for using the tape measure at WCC.
Yeah,
when I needed to measure 17 inches over terrain.
Yeah. Get a widget.
A 17-inch widget.
Yeah, they exist.
It's the most impractical thing. Exactly.
No, it's fine for sort of guesstimating long ranges. Just
but you don't do it for 6 inches when you need
precision
to know.
measurement. No.
But if you're trying to stay outside of 11, you can sort of, or even farther, like 13 or 15 for Simon. You can do that as long as you play it kind of conservatively and don't push it. Essentially, there's sort of like an element of uncertainty. Right?
Oh, the
so
stream have kicked off already. Auto disqualification.
Tape measure happened.
Tape
It's
measure.
happening again. All right. Well.
Oh.
Does he just lose a point every time he uses?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Losing
influence.
he doesn't lose a point. He loses 5 minutes on his clock,
Okay.
which is effectively.
Yeah, he's got.
He's got
about 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
Then.
He's got 4 more uses, and then he's in his overtime.
Exactly.
Thresher carrying all the tokens with him.
Alex being
That's getting that tape measure out for precision measurement now.
being fairly careful to place Tater in such a way that there's no way you can get within 3 of Thresher on that side without triggering countercharge, even if you can't necessarily get there.
People saying, "Oh man, the harvest markers look like models."
They do look a little bit like mostly because they're not.
So,
But I believe it's these 2 in the back closest to the
Yes, it
goal,
is.
other than Tater.
yeah.
I think if you'd like this, what's that?
Bots has final activation, doesn't he?
He does. But I believe this is the last for Shane other than Tater? Or Thresher? Man, that's going to kill me.
Yep.
So it's kind of down to the important activations here.
Uh-huh.
Huh. So if Shane wants to interact with Alex's team, he basically needs to at least engage Thresher at this point. The difficult thing is that he's got a lot of defensive tech to work through if he wants to get Thresher to a point where he can't return.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how he handles that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it seems like a very volatile matchup. And like
Yeah.
this, these last 2 activations.
Jostle, boom.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shane here, obviously thinking, do I go in? Do I go in? Do I go in?
He's using a momentum dial, so we can't really tell exactly how many momentum he has, but I want to say it's 2. Maybe. We'll see. The players now discussing that, everybody's sort of scared to start the fight, as they probably should be at this point.
The Thresher is one of the best models to stop counter charge, and I think we're going to see it here where he's
engages Thresher, but doesn't, or Tater, but doesn't suffer the crowding out penalty.
correct. Yeah. It's I believe that was a
I think it was brace for impact,
brace for impact, and then he said, "I'm going to use poise because I get to use it, but I can't hit you. I just want to declare it, just in case."
just in case you decide you want to dodge in here.
Dodge 1 inch in,
Exactly.
which is fair enough.
That's good. That's a good roll. Wow.
Wow. We're up to the 2. That's a fantastic roll.
Only 2 misses on 4s.
One miss and an armor on 4s. Jeez.
No armor, but yeah.
Yeah, it falls an armor.
4 out. So he takes the top of the playbook knockdown damage as well as 2 damage moments.
Yep.
Down to 15.
Harrow takes the knockdown, was it? Or
I'm not sure.
I think so.
I don't see it.
Can't see where it's gone.
Let me mark it in a minute. Guess we'll have to see if 3s hit here. I would imagine Millstone took it, but...
Or was a cocksure put on?
Oh, it was. That's what it was. Yep.
And then Millstone is now knocked down, so cocksure triggered, Millstone's been triggered. The next one can knock him down, and there is no momentum, but he can stand up and... Oh.
Misses the knockdown again.
Getting the knockdown is crucial, because you can take that 1-inch dodge away, and there's no Thresher activation.
That's true. Yeah, he really wanted the knockdown there.
One last swing. Last attack coming in from Shane's Thresher. Takes the knockdown. Will he take the dodge? Yes. It's just I'm getting out of there. Nothing he can do. He stands up. That's the turn. +2 for Shane on the dice roll. +3, big 6. No.
So yeah, Alex's Thresher up to 14 health, it looks like.
Yeah, 14 health. 14 or 15. I think it's 14.
Yeah, so it's 14.
Yeah, after the Harrow heal.
And 14 damage without a Harvest Marker is definitely possible for Thresher, but it's not 100% reliable.
5 attacks.
So the big thing is if he hits the damage knockdown on the first one.
Yeah.
If he has to take the regular knockdown, it gets iffy.
Yeah, so guessing chat saying I think Thresher Tater is the new Honor Harmony and Tapper Hooper.
Yeah, they're a great pair. And Millstone in the back to back him. Shane pulling 2 Harvest Markers to allocate 2 more influence this turn.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case for Shane here. Go in first, get as much influence on the table as possible.
And those 2 Harvest Markers were pretty out of the way from Jack Straw retrieving the ball last turn. I believe that puts him up to 13. No, more than that. Sorry, 15.
Four on Tater. Seems good.
I have to imagine.
The thing is, with Thresher's activation, because he's disengaged, he has to move to go back in. And then if he doesn't kill Bots' Thresher,
that's a big problem for him.
Yeah,
so not only if he fails to kill him, but even if he kills him and
he's just stood in front of the
can't get
entire
away.
Fortress team. Like, there's no out for him.
Yeah, it's like far from automatic for Boss to kill the Thresher in return, but if he can at least make the momentum competitive and threaten to bring his own Thresher back on the field in a reasonable position and kill Shane's.
And Thresher returning isn't... What is this? Harrow activating first. Is that?
Huh. So successful pass and then a jog and tool up.
Okay. Guess it gives him the point of momentum to stand Thresher up in case he's not dead, and to counter attack.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable play given that he sort of knows that it's very unlikely that Alex can kill his Thresher in the next situation.
They both have the same problem that Thresher won't kill Thresher without the setup.
Right.
And Shane is now ahead on the setup because he's got that tooled up.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Thresher's going to legendary. Alex Box has let Thresher, calling a legendary. Everybody on the table bar Grace gets it. He's going to go in, Life Drinker, get himself back to full. And is within range of a Harvest marker. And a misallocation of influence there. Alex only has 4 rather than 5 influence, which is going to hurt. Takes the momentous knockdown. Forgot to roll the 2 dice, so it becomes 2 damage on a knockdown instead. But say nerves getting to him a little bit there from the misallocation.
Yeah, the misallocation, forgotten legendary dice. So the one nice thing about popping his legendary here is that over the course of the attacks and spending momentum, he should be able to get his Thresher back to clean.
Back to full, yeah.
And let's see.
9 health left on Shane's Thresher, and this misallocation of influence could be detrimental.
Oh,
5 damage. And the Harvest marker does 3. Hurts Tater. Hurts Bots as Tater, but leaves Thresher on 1. And 2 to stand up Millstone, which is pretty good.
Man, if he'd had 5 there.
Yeah, if he'd had 5 there. 1 more influence on Lucky Bots, but it now asks some questions of Shane's Thresher. He either stands up, heals, buys an attack, and then gets countered. Big roll could potentially kill.
Yeah.
I think you need to, as Shane, stand up, heal, legendary to get your own Life Drinker up, so you can heal yourself back to full before the other farmers come in.
Yeah, he's still in a dangerous position, even though his Thresher survived there. He does.
He has a tooled up Thresher, so I think Shane's now in place to kill Bots' Thresher. There is no Harvest marker there, so there's no additional 4 damage.
Which means he probably does have to legendary to do it, I'd imagine. And he basically has to sacrifice his movement to do it also, because he needs to heal.
He needs to heal, he can't go in without doing it.
Which does mean that Bots continues to threaten him
Yes,
as the game goes on.
And it's whether you can go with somebody else to put down the Harvest marker, but you need to heal him now before.
Yeah, something has to happen here. I suppose he literally could pass the ball again and heal him, but
yeah,
that wouldn't
but
save him.
He's knocked down. He wouldn't. He's not getting saved by that. I think sacrifice, legendary, heal, stop buying attacks to heal yourself back up.
Shook the knockdown.
So is that spent to remove conditions?
Yeah.
Moves to the extremity of. He's got the non-momentous. He's moved.
Oh, he's just going to dodge outside too, I suppose.
Takes the dodge. Gets within. Takes the non-momentous knockdown.
I think there was damage on that too, even. Yeah, so it sounded like 3 in a knockdown.
Yeah. Momentous 4. Tools not really doing the work here. Momentous 2 up to 3.
Yep. He's may not kill him here.
Start the bonus time the attacks. well. Oh, Thresher,
one short.
Bot's Thresher left on one as well.
This is the game of Thresher's almost dying.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Harrow here going in to try and finish off Shane's Tater. Thresher. God, every time.
Wow. All right. So Thresher going down.
Shane's Thresher down from Shane and gets sowing the seeds through the attack as well because he forgot to put down his first harvest marker.
Still ends up the harvest marker, just know, not the way he intended to.
No.
His Thresher's still in the danger zone, obviously.
Do you reckon Tater's in range? Well, definitely with a pass.
Man, this is an interesting turn too. This is not how I expected
No, me at all. Me either.
Threshers to go.
We've just had Russ Charles join us in the stream chat. He is busy sculpting veteran Cena and Cena's bear cubs.
Yeah, I heard people talking about that yesterday.
Goalkeeper defensive midfielder that was designed for the Hunters. And the range isn't there to go kill Thresher with the... So looking at the range on Thresher there. He's just out.
Oh no.
He's only allocated 2.
Can't quite get there. Although, he can still drop a harvest marker with Millstone and enable it, but it does give Bots the time to heal him, so.
Does Bots have two momentum there?
I believe so. Actually, I think it's just the one.
It's the one which...
I think the other one's the center of the goal.
Yes. Oh yeah, this
Yeah. So Millstone goes and drops a harvest marker, casts Get Out, and it's going for a sprint.
Bonk. Push forwards a little bit there. Get into cover. If Bots can get somehow keep his Thresher alive until the end of this turn,
yeah, that'll be big.
Generate some momentum, and having your Thresher where he is compared to Shane's returning Thresher is huge.
Absolutely.
Both players tied up more momentum, been spending it all trying to kill each other.
Yeah. Huh. I think the player's about as surprised as we are that they're in this position now. Maybe this is time for Grace's healing circle.
Yeah, just
on Thresher.
No, turn to
on Tater, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to quick foot onto Tater.
That probably puts him in range to threaten Harrow without the counter charge being live.
Yeah.
Man, as tempting as it is to go and kill Bots' Tater with your Thresher, Bots' Thresher with Shane's Tater.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that's gonna end well, because you sort of end up just overcommitting Tater there.
Tater, and then Tater gets the same treatment next turn.
Exactly.
He'd be so far up that the farmers can just...
He's away from all the harvest markers. He's in place for Bots' Tater to go hit him.
Yeah.
I've done so much talking about Thresher, I can't seem to say anything else.
Yeah.
He's going for Thresher.
Looks like it's time for Thresher to... Tater! Every single time!
I'm sorry, it's contagious.
Oh. Tater's going to go in. Shane's Tater's going to go kill Alex's Thresher.
Ooh.
There is a harvest market down. Oh yes, from mistakes have been made.
That's a good break for Bots.
Counter charge live, and that just brings Bots' Tater even higher up. I mean, you can't take the side-in blow.
No, but he can safely mow down.
Yeah.
Because
Unless he wraps.
Actually.
Huh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. So Bots rolled so well. He's wrapped.
He's wrapped
got
to
one
the one
damage, which kills Thresher anyway. Wow. Wow.
All right.
What a play.
Apparently that happened yesterday too, right?
Oh really?
Or somebody was talking about how in one of Shane's games he realized his opponent was trying to keep Thresher alive by leaving him on 2 health, but he had Jackstraw and he just croc dusted him.
Oh yes, I think I saw that happen. Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well.
Sure.
Huh.
Sure. And the ball's going to scatter. Black's direction. 1 is pointing towards Bots.
Whoa.
5 inches.
Wait. Black's direction.
Guys in chat saying these are the next level plays that truly separate the champions of Guild Ball.
Killing your own Thresher.
Kill your own Thresher.
Because you accidentally rolled so well.
It's denying the opponent the momentum for killing your Thresher.
It is a low momentum turn.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And obviously generating 2 momentum at the time is good. So. Big plays. Big plays.
So Shane's standing his Tater back up and making some attacks against Alex's. First swing is 2 damage momentously.
Yep.
The game now being played in Spanish, apparently.
So it's Millstone. It's paying him momentum to stand up and charging into Tater. Into base to base. Wow. That's a fantastic roll, but defensive stance taking it to 5s, making it less fantastic. The lack of armor really showing.
Absolutely.
It's obvious, but everything you hit counting is just huge, and there's one point of armor here and there that usually you just take for granted in Guild Ball. Watching the farmers games, you just get to see the high damage go in and out,
and you sort of see it, especially acutely on charges, where you get those 4 extra dice, and then you're just like, people just wrap in places that you wouldn't normally see. Right?
Expect to see it, yeah.
Like Tater charging a Tater.
Yeah.
So the Millstone charge successfully knocking down the opposing Tater, leaving Alex's Tater to do some damage later in the turn, I imagine.
Guys in chat caught it there. It wasn't defensive stance, jump female.
Yeah.
It's 5s.
Alex forgot originally, and Shane remembered. So.
Plus, they're saying that he forgot to roll his legendary dice on both the counter charge and that charge. Jackstraw cheekily walking in, taking the ball and teleporting away. So Bots there saying, I'm charging Tater. No, not Tater, this guy, this guy. That's what the hand movement was. And Harrow chooses the defensive stance. So 5 damage from the charge and the scything charge, 3 damage to Potts' Millstone, and 3 damage to Shane's Tater.
Yeah, his Shane's Tater's getting down there now. He's going to be in a dangerous position coming to the beginning of the next turn.
Yeah. And there is a harvest marker between Millstone and Tater on Potts' side.
Five damage to Harrow on the charge is pretty solid. Taking another swing at Harrow here. Changes his mind and goes for Tater.
Another app? No. Marking on your cards. It's not worth losing a game on a failed app. Oh.
It's also hard for your opponent to see. There's a whole list of.
Especially when you've got cards right in front of you. Using an app just seems...
Yeah. Okay.
So there was a +4 influence.
Tied the first time. It was close
call.
First
time, yeah. Everyone on the table heals too.
Good thing they do plenty of damage, so this game doesn't drag on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was. I know when Alex and Vincent played these games, like his biggest complaint was the Harrow aura. Because like even if you're suffering both conditions, you just take 1 damage.
Well, yeah.
That Harrow aura is incredible.
What's the order of that happening?
We had to look it up before. I don't remember the answer.
Just thinking, because you could do the conditions, kill someone before the heal comes in.
I'm almost positive Harrow's aura says what you do.
Oh yes, I think you're right.
Before conditions are resolved.
Oh, so it would say.
Yeah. As long as you're above 1. Let's see, so where is he bringing his Thresher back? Over on the fast ground.
Thresher there on the fast ground with a quick foot heading his way.
Yeah. We see the benefits of being able to choose your side when being forced to kick.
We have a judge on the table, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Bryce hanging out, making sure things are played correctly. And,
he's got to see his dad killed twice this game.
Imagine it won't be the last time this game.
No. It's traumatic for Bryce.
It has to be. Thankfully, his dad's also gotten to do a fair amount of killing.
Yes, yeah, very true. Imagine how it feels seeing his dad fight his dad.
Yeah, it's got to be conflicting. Right?
Punching himself to death.
They're both zombies, though.
Yeah.
So I don't even know.
Potts doing very well on time, by comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shane spent a lot of time on the turn 2 Thresher, or early activations of turn 2. Which, I mean, understandably so, it was a very important turn.
Oh, Thresher's in range. Players asking there that if a player can't see a harvest marker, can they remove it to use Don't Fear the Reaper?
It just says remove. Oh, yeah, it does say target. Huh. Okay, so Alex's Thresher getting right back in the action with a charge against Harrow here.
Yep.
Oh, with a wingback.
Oh,
We missed.
wingback. Very nice. Super efficient.
Yeah. I believe Harrow's down to 16 health now after Zora.
Oh, what a roll.
Yeah.
Knockdown 3 and 1. 4 damage.
So he's down to 12 with the knockdown on Millstone.
Yeah. Just confirm for the players that Harrow is at 12. More attacks coming in, 7 dice. Knock him down with 2 damage. And he's actually down this time. Two damage momentously, and They Ain't Tough splashes out onto Millstone.
He's down to 8 health now.
Yep. Two, isn't he? So 5 damage momentously. 3 health left. Kill him with 3 momentous damage.
Manages to do it without burning the Don't Fear.
What's that, sorry?
Manages to roll well enough to do it without pulling the Harvest Marker.
Yes, yeah. Which means the counter charge is still alive.
Exactly.
Tater can eat it if he wants to heal.
That's true. Yeah, and he's taking some damage.
Yeah. Shane saying this is going poorly compared to the last game.
Yeah.
And Alex scoring all the points on the board so far.
Shane does still have his Thresher activation for this turn, which is kind of his primary.
Something to think about, yeah.
Yeah, his primary damage output. He's going with Tater because he's in an awkward position.
Yeah. No response from Potts there. Minus 2 damage against Harrow. And again. Minus 2 damage.
So Shane's Tater up to 15 health after a heal.
Yep.
Which is definitely more than Alex's Tater can put out this turn.
Yeah.
But he does have influence on Millstone as well.
Millstone buying the attacks. 2 damage momentous. 13 left. This is Millstone attacking Shane's Tater. Takes the knockdown.
Gets the knockdown, and Millstone's already knocked down, so.
Yeah. And 2 more momentous damage. Down to 11 health.
Yep. Remembers the Harvest Marker.
Yeah, well done.
Thought he was getting ready to end there. So that knockdown Tater is now in substantially more danger.
Yes, yeah.
Now that he's down to 11 health and knocked down.
Jackstraw activating.
Oof. Shane missing the pass from Jackstraw to Thresher, which is likely to end up behind his line.
Yeah, so no momentum until Thresher activates.
Depends how it scatters, but yeah.
2 inches to the 6.
Probably okay there.
Probably just hit. So it's not gone behind the line.
It's really close.
Yeah.
It depends where it hits the goal, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think if I was Alex there, I'd get the judge to come over
I think I would too.
place the ball path. Is any part of that ball over the line? Because if the ball path was just a little bit to the left, it seems almost perfect that it's hit like sort of
Exactly dead center.
Dead center,
Where it basically has to, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, it's a tough thing to judge. The lines are not infinitely thin. Sometimes there's some like third-party maps that are just like half an inch wide. And it's tough to tell. Luckily, we've got a good old Steamforge mat.
Yep. It's one of the things we found out from SteamCon UK playing on the beautiful terrain board from Michael Archer it was really pretty, but as soon as we got to the top tables at the end of the tournament, we had to switch to the neoprene mats, simply because everything's clearly marked out. There was no that line wasn't on there on the pretty board, and the goal token wasn't marked, so people would have to constantly when going on goal run. It's like, can you just put your goal back? Can we remeasure everything?
Yeah, that seems rough. So far, 5 damage coming down on Tater. Bonus timing, as he needs to hit the 3 both times now.
Yep. You need 2 as though.
Does get it again and bonus times again for the final one.
3 left. And kills him momentously. One for the wrap, one for the takeout.
All right.
One for the result, one for the takeout. But sitting on a healthy pile of momentum now.
Yeah.
After all this has gone off.
Memories of last game's momentum.
6-2 is the score.
Do you remember on turn 2 if Shane legendary Thresher? Because I didn't pay.
I don't think it did.
I don't. That was my instinct as well. Because I didn't remember him rolling quite that many dice. But
No.
It wasn't 100%.
I don't think he did, because otherwise he'd have healed a lot more from
right.
Life Drinker.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been at 1. Sure. So he does still his legendary, which, obviously he's not going to end up with 8 momentum out of a Thresher activation, but he can still do a
ton of damage.
Pretty impressive amount of damage.
And there's Harvest Marker there to go and 3 damage to both Millstone and Tater. And walks it just outside a counter charge, to remember this time. Pass the ball to Jackstraw. Needs this to happen.
It really does.
Gets it. Internals cheer.
He's going to take the dodge.
Before inches up, I think he's looking at engaging everybody in the world. Not
Just
Tater,
Millstone.
just Millstone. Interesting.
Seems like he's trying to move in the direction of the goal, eventually.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because it kind of depends on him going first next
Yeah.
turn, I imagine.
Looking for 3 to 2. Two damage knockdown, the dodge. Now brings him in. It's a range of everyone. Arrow's on 13 health. Shane's checking the
Tater at
momentum.
11. I want to say Millstone at 12 now.
Yes. Shane's decision is he's not likely to get the kill on anyone. The armor being there on Millstone is preventing this. Looking here just to knock down everybody and 4 spots to spend their momentum if he wants it.
Yeah, make his the rest of his turn awkward here. Sort of force him into difficult decisions of how to spend that momentum in light of being able to have a good activation first next turn.
Yep. Attacking Harrow did 2 momentous damage. That's a good roll.
Damn. So these are difficult choices, right? Because he's choosing between damage and a knockdown, which isn't momentous for him, and the momentous knockdown for himself.
Yes.
So it takes just damage against Harrow.
Picks up one of the Harvest Markers placed behind them to put 3 damage on Tater, 3 damage on Millstone, and 3 damage on Harrow.
It's a lot of damage for one Harvest Marker.
Pretty good.
Ooh, good Peck Heroic.
Oh, Peck Heroic. Everybody up you get. And dodges as well.
That's,
hey, Thresher.
Man, if he wins this initiative roll,
First stayed just out of 2 inches, keeping counter charge alive.
Smart. Huh. I'm surprised that's the first use of that heroic we've seen this game. There's been a lot of knockdown models.
Now, I can't remember, can you? Is the harvest marker near Shane's goal placed? It looks like it because it's got the influence on top.
I
but I'm
don't
not
believe
sure.
so, just because... wait, did he pull one to Don't Fear? I could have sworn the same...
He did, yes. He pulled it from behind.
It was a crop dusting one.
Yep. Crop dusting,
yeah. I think that's the one he pulled. The one back by his goal, I believe.
Cheeky little peck there. Walking forwards to engage Tater.
Also sort of getting in the way of Alex's Thresher moving towards Shane's Thresher next turn, potentially. The Grace Healing Aura comes down on Millstone and Tater. Alex's clock advantage growing as the game goes on for now.
Yeah, getting to nearly 10 minutes ahead is quite substantial, especially going into what will be a grindy game with these two teams.
Mm-hmm. Millstone on Millstone attacks.
See Millstone here, just going in. Millstone punching Millstone.
2 damage on the first one, whiff the second, and 2 damage on the third one. So at the moment, it's 5 momentum for Shane, and 7 for Alex, it appears.
+2.
Yep.
+2 roll off. Oh, double one, but momentum takes it. Unbot says he will have turn 1. Yeah. I love how everything is just all like the paraphernalia around the pitch is all devolving towards the gill ball in the middle where every player stood.
Every player, a bunch of harvest markers. Yeah. That's the important area of this game.
Yeah. Pretty standard distribution there. 5 on Thresher, 4 on Tato, 1 or 2 there on Millstone, and 1 on Tarot for a tool up potentially, or just to go punch someone at the end of the turn.
Makes sense. Yeah, he didn't really have any harvest markers he could afford to pull, so he's working with the standard 11, I imagine.
Yeah.
And nobody benefiting from, nobody for Shane benefiting from the Harrow Aura this turn.
Yeah, roll. I put 6 on her.
So Shane's Thresher down on 10, and Alex going in for the kill.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really hard one. Yep. The superior strategy, what that opens up is really yeah. I mean, I didn't try it in this one.
There's always just a comment there from Shane saying he's not happy with his performance on the live stream. It always surprises me how much it actually the being on camera can influence people and their perception that people are watching this game, so it's important. Whereas earlier on we saw a huge crowd around Shane's game with Jordan Knack with probably about 20 people watching this game.
Yeah.
But it's a different sort of pressure knowing that there are people talking about you that you can't hear.
Sure, yeah.
And that you won't ever see that talk is, I guess, the thing. But
yeah, definitely. I feel a lot of pressure when I'm on a stream, and I know a lot of people do. I'm not a huge fan of people crowding around the table either, but the live stream is having played
many games on live stream. I think originally I had that pressure, and now it's gone. I always feel worse when there are lots of people stood around, and you can hear the mutterings of,
Sure.
and you're like, can you just go away?
Yeah.
And let me play my game without you muttering over my ear.
Yeah. To me, there's like this special pressure when you're like mic'd up and you know people are listening to the things you're saying about the game. Especially because I tend to like ramble through the turn of just like whatever's going on. So Alex going ahead and don't fearing, damaging his own Tater and Millstone, but also enough to kill the Thresher.
So it's bots on 8.
It does.
And now changes attacks onto Shane's Millstone.
Some moments to knock down.
Oh, sit her down. I thought it was like, single down. Go on now. So, Pot said instead of knock down, they'll sit her out.
Sit her down, yeah.
Sit her down. But from the quick there, I thought he said singled out. I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Not more mistakes. We can't have that. Alex realizing he's benefited 0 times from the extra distance of quick foot.
Yeah. I think it's the threat of it though. In turn 1 is certainly there, and whilst didn't benefit from it in turn 1, it forced Shane to commit, knowing that he needed to get something from his Thresher before bots could fly in. So he has got the benefit from it, in my opinion.
And he has, he's still benefited from the healing AoE. So he's gotten something with playing Grace. And he hasn't had too much trouble placing Harvest Markers.
No.
And part of that is, the sort of threat range provided by Grace forces your opponent to come into you.
So you can place these in locations that are close to what you want, where the action's happening anyway.
Exactly. Which is like a really powerful ability to be able to sort of force your opponent to come into you, which is, I think, the primary motivation in playing Grace here.
Shane there apologising to bots for taking his time during his activation, but saying, don't worry, it's on your clock, you don't need to apologise. You apologise to yourself.
Yeah. Shane's peck doing damage to Tater. Or Thresher, sorry.
Peck just literally pecking away.
He's doing that momentous damage.
1 momentous damage, 1 momentous damage, 2 momentum generated. Stands up Millstone and gets the dodge with the heroic. Bots here's Millstone activating, putting down the Harvest Marker. Millstone from bots walks into Shane's Millstone, does 2 momentous damage. And Shane here declaring a counter-attack on this one. And bots rolls up fire, knocks down Shane's
only because of the They Ain't Tough.
Wow.
Huh.
I mean, I could have activated him. I mean, I could have raised these things. Yeah, you could have raised these things.
Looking at a pass from Jackstraw onto Tater. Tater makes a 4-inch dodge from the pass. Oh, Jackstraw charging.
What?
Yeah. See Jackstraw here charging into Bot's Millstone.
That doesn't look like 6 inches at all.
What, between Jackstraw and Millstone?
Yeah. Oh, Millstone, sorry. I'm looking at Harrow. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
He pointed at Harrow and said Millstone.
Said Millstone.
It's the old one too.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
Oh. Oof. The whole 1 damage.
Looking for the knockdown, doesn't quite get it.
Yeah. Shane's Millstone on 12 health. Doing pretty well considering all the damage he's taken.
He's the toughest farmer in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The only one with armor.
Tools
Alex,
up Tater.
yeah.
Oh, that's what we thought. Walk up to engage, throw a tooled up out.
Makes it pretty easy for him to do 12 damage.
With 2 momentous on 2, becoming 3, and a knockdown Harrow. A knockdown Millstone.
Basically what you do against
Stream saying this is just Bryce's family reunion, a bunch of farmers in a field punching each other to death.
I'm sure Bryce is super happy that his dad
He's
is
so
a model.
heavily attributed to this skill.
Millstone going into Harrow, and Harrow opting to counterattack.
Millstone's counterattack doing 2 damage.
point being like you superior strategy in challenge. You're gonna get
Harrow managing to push Millstone out of melee,
Yes.
which was pretty important for Harrow there, as he was down to 4 health after the last attack.
Yes.
even if you win, that's not better for you, but if you win,
This is Shane's Millstone punching Bot's Millstone. It's not confusing at all.
Nope. 1 damage twice.
That dominating clock lead at the moment.
Alex is going to risk the peck parting blow.
Takes 2 damage. Take that, Tater. Reason 1. Wow. Shane, they're saying, sure you don't want to do mow down with that result? It's like, no.
Like, no.
Knock my entire team down.
Take the damage instead.
Yeah. Two health left on Shane's Millstone. And that's a takeout. Bots on 10 points in a commanding position of the table now.
He's got to find one more takeout, and Jack's throwing Tater right there.
And up 6 momentum, guaranteeing going first. Got the fresher activation to go and take out a severely weakened Tater. Shane saying it's pretty much on the wall here. I don't think there's anything I can do. And Bot saying, I think you're right, but I think we should play it out because it is the championship. We should do everything by the books.
You know, he can literally roll all ones. It's possible.
Yeah, not likely, but possible.
Yep. So Bot's gonna probably try and do 10 damage to a Tater here, which he really only needs to do 7 because he can Don't Fear it. Over 5 attacks. That's pretty good.
He's got the range for Don't Fear. Yes, he hits the majority of his own team, but
wins the game.
Doesn't care. Yeah.
Yep.
Interestingly, if Bots wins from this, he has scored 14 points this game.
That's true. I'm sure I'll appreciate. Yeah, that's good.
Every point on the board. It's like playing Vet Catalyst. Every point on the board I scored. 2 damage with a knockdown.
Taking 5 total. He's down to 5.
And that's game.
Two
Well played
damage
to
and
Alex.
here gets it done.
Scores every point in the game and is through to the World Championships tomorrow at SteamCon USA. Congratulations, Strictly the Worst podcast.
Yeah.
You win as a team, obviously. It's a team.
Always
thing.
good to see Alex winning. Really happy for that. Glad to see some interesting Thresher games.
Yes.
That's the first time I've gotten to watch the mirror. And,
I think it fell apart for Shane when he failed to kill Thresher before
yeah,
Alex activated.
it was definitely rough.
Leaving him on one is heartbreaking and
Absolutely. It's one of those times you're tooled up, so you're trying to save the legendary for later in the game.
yeah. Well, I think
Even the legendary probably doesn't save your Thresher.
No.
So it's a tough balance.
Yeah.
Of how important it is to trade those legendary.
Trade those pieces, and Bots there gets to claim the Black Heart Trophy as the USA champion, and carry it into tomorrow's tournament.
That's his first one of those trophies. He's had to look at a lot of other ones running around Chicago. So I think that's the one he's
the one you want,
most
isn't
happy
it?
to have. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But it's been a great day today. Been a lot more fun for myself, a lot more chilled out than yesterday with 6 games. I'm glad I don't have to do 2 more tonight.
Definitely.
We have for guys at SteamCon USA, the Q&A going later, and then for myself, the pundit party later on. And then back tomorrow for the final
3 games.
Yeah. See if Bots can continue this Thresher.
Threshing streak.
And he got to do the Pokemon rivalry. He spun his hat. He beat his opponent. Shane beat him game 1 of the SteamCon USA. And now he's managed to turn it back.
Yeah, I know he was looking for a chance for that, and looks like he got it done. So
fantastic.
really happy.
Thank you to everybody who's been following along with us today. It's been good having you all here. And I guess we shall catch you on the morrow.
Yep.
See you all later, guys.